Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class, we have discussed about the removal of Supreme Court judges. So friends, now some more topics are left which are related to the Supreme Court of India. So now we have to cover all these topics. So friends, the first topic of today's class is acting CJI. Okay, and CJI means Chief Justice of India. So the first topic of today's class is acting Chief Justice of India. So friends, let's begin. So friends, the first and the most important question is that what is acting CJI? Okay, or we can also say that what is the meaning of acting CJI, or we can also say that who is acting CJI. So now let us try to find the answer of this question. So friends, I told you in the previous classes that CJI, or what we call as Chief Justice of India, is the boss of Supreme Court. Okay, who is CJI? CJI is the boss of Supreme Court. Now friends, let's suppose what happened that there is a vacancy on the post of CJI. Okay, so it means that the post of CJI is vacant. Okay, and what do I mean when I am saying that the post of CJI is vacant? So it means that no person is occupying the post of CJI. Okay, there is no person on the post of CJI. So the post of CJI is vacant. The post of CJI is empty. Okay, so now let us suppose that if the post of CJI is vacant, then who will work as CJI? Because the post of CJI is very important, because Chief Justice of India is the boss of Supreme Court of India. Okay, so if there is a vacancy on the post of CJI, so my question is that who will work as CJI? Okay, now there is one more condition. So here the second condition is that let's suppose that if the current Chief Justice of India is absent from his office. Okay, absent from his office means that due to some reasons he is unable to perform his work as the Chief Justice of India. Okay, so absent means that due to some reason the current Chief Justice of India is unable to perform his work as the CJI. Okay, so friends, my question is that if there is a vacancy or absency in the post of CJI, okay, means if the Chief Justice of India, if the post of the Chief Justice of India is vacant, or the Chief Justice of India is not able to perform his work as CJI due to any reason, then who will work as CJI, or then who will perform the functions of Chief Justice of India? So now let us try to find the answer of this question. So friends, if there is a vacancy or absency in the office of Chief Justice of India, then what will happen that the President of India, okay, the President of India will appoint a judge of Supreme Court. Okay, so what will happen that the President of India will appoint a Supreme Court judge to act as the Chief Justice of India. Okay, so I am again repeating my statement. So what will happen that the President of India will appoint a judge of Supreme Court to act as the Chief Justice of India. Okay, and now this judge of Supreme Court who is appointed by the President of India to act as the Chief Justice of India will be called as the acting CJI, or what we call as acting Chief Justice of India. Okay, so now can you tell me that what is the meaning of acting CJI, or who is acting CJI? So now you can say that, sir, if there is a vacancy or absency in the office of CJI, then President of India appoints a judge of Supreme Court to act as the Chief Justice of India. Now the judge of Supreme Court who is appointed by the President of India to act as the Chief Justice of India, that judge of Supreme Court will be called as acting CJI. Okay, now friends, here you have to keep in your mind one more thing, that there is a difference between vacancy and absency. So vacancy means that the post of Chief Justice of India is vacant. The post of Chief Justice of India is empty. Okay, means there is no person sitting on that post. But absent does not mean that the post is empty. Absent means that there is a person who is occupying the post of CJI. Okay, so absent means that there is a person who has currently occupied the seat of Chief Justice of India, but due to some reasons he is unable to perform his functions. For example, let's suppose we can say that he may be sick, okay, or let's suppose we can say that there is some big function in his family due to which he has to take the leave, okay, means due to any reason. If the Chief Justice of India is unable to perform his work, then we will say that he is absent from his office, okay. So now in both of these conditions, what will happen, that the President of India will appoint a judge of Supreme Court to act as the Chief Justice of India, okay. And now this judge of Supreme Court will be called as acting CJI. Now friends, after this, the next important question is, or we can say that the next important topic is that from where the salary and the pension, from where the salary and pension of the judges of Supreme Court is paid. Okay, so we know that the salary is paid to Supreme Court judges when they are working as Supreme Court judge, and when they are retired, then they are paid pension. Okay, so now my question is that from where their salaries are paid and from where the pension of the Supreme Court judges is paid. Okay, so friends, in the previous classes, I have taught you about the many types of funds. Okay, so definitely we know that the money, when Government of India spends money, then Government of India withdraws money from these funds only. Okay, so now I want all of you to give the answer of this question. So just pause the video and tell me that from which fund of India. So in the previous classes, I have already taught you about the types of funds in India. So now pause the video and give your answer in the comment section that from which fund of India the salaries and pension of Supreme Court judges is paid. Then I will give you the answer. So friends, the answer of this question is Consolidated Fund of India. Okay, so now you have to remember that the salaries as well as the pension of Supreme Court judges is paid from the Consolidated Fund of India. Okay, so you have to remember this because a question can be asked from this in the prelims exam. Okay, so now you have to remember that the salaries and pension of the judges of Supreme Court is paid from Consolidated Fund of India. Now friends, after this, the next important topic is ad hoc judge of Supreme Court. Okay, so now what is the meaning of ad hoc judge of Supreme Court, or we can also say that what is ad hoc judge of Supreme Court. So I will explain you this concept with the help of an example. So friends, let's suppose that what happened that the quorum, okay, what happened that the quorum required to conduct, if the quorum of Supreme Court judges required to hold a session is not there, then what will happen? Okay, so now what is my question? So my question is that what if, okay, if the quorum of Supreme Court judges which is required to hold a session is not there. Now what does it mean? So first of all, I will explain you this. And what is this quorum? Okay, so let's suppose friends, what happens? Now let's suppose what happened that a special case came to Supreme Court. Okay, so I am not giving you the example of any case. Just imagine that a special type of case came to Supreme Court. Now for the hearing of that case, okay, for the hearing of that case, let's suppose that the 9 judges bench is required. Okay, for the hearing of this of that case, or 9 judges bench is required. Okay, so now what does it mean? So it means that for this specific type of case, a bench of 9 judges, only the bench of 9 judges can hear that case. Okay, so quorum basically means the minimum number of members, which are required for starting a session. Okay, so in the case of judiciary or in the case of Supreme Court, we can say that quorum means the minimum number of judges. Quorum means the minimum number of judges which are required to start the hearing of a case. Okay, for example, I have told you that a specific type of case came in the Supreme Court, and for the hearing of that case, it is necessary that a 9 judges bench should listen that case. A 9 judges bench should listen that case. Okay, it means that a minimum of 9 judges are required. Minimum of 9 Supreme Court judges are required for the starting of the for the starting of the hearing of this specific case. Okay, so quorum in this case is 9. Okay, so what is quorum? So quorum basically means the minimum number of Supreme Court judges which are required to start the hearing of a case. Quorum means the minimum number of judges which are required to conduct the hearing of a case. Okay, for example, if a specific type of case came in the Supreme Court, and for this specific type of case, okay, it is a must that at least okay, so it is a must that this type of case must be listened by 9 judges bench. Okay, so 9 is the number, or 9 judges will form the quorum in the case for this special case. Okay, so now let's suppose what happened that only 8 judges are available. Only 8 judges are available. Okay, so now one more judge is needed. So if without this one judge, okay, because okay, so now only 8 judges are available, and the hearing of the case cannot be started without 9 judges. Okay, it means that if only 8 judges are available and 9 judges are required to start the hearing of the case, it means that now the quorum is incomplete. Now the quorum is not complete. Okay, so for completing the quorum, one more judge is needed. Okay, why? Because 8 judges are already available, and if one more judge will come, then the quorum will be completed. And I have told you that this special case can only be listened by a 9 judges bench. So the quorum for this case is 9 judges. Okay, and as only 8 judges are available, so we will say that here the quorum is incomplete. So for completing the quorum, one more judge is needed. Okay, so now my question is that from where this one more judge will be arranged. Okay, what is my question? My question is that from where this one more judge will be arranged. Okay, so the students who know the answer of this question, they can just pause the video and comment their answer in the comment section. Okay, and now I am telling you that from where this one extra judge will be arranged so that the quorum can be completed and the hearing of the case can be started. So friends, to deal with this problem, Chief Justice of India, okay, so first of all, Chief Justice of India will take the consent of the President of India. Okay, so first of all, what will happen, that the Chief Justice of India will take the consent of the President of India. Now consent means he will take the permission of the President of India. Now for what he is taking permission? So Chief Justice of India will take the consent of the President of India. Okay, for what? So now I am telling you that for what he is taking the consent of President of India. So now what Chief Justice of India will do, that Chief Justice of India will consult. Chief Justice of India will consult with the Chief Justice of one High Court. Okay, so what will happen, that Chief Justice of India will consult with the Chief Justice of a High Court. Okay, and after taking the consent from the President of India and after consulting with the Chief Justice of a High Court, okay, Chief Justice of India will give order. Chief Justice of India will give order to a Judge of High Court. Okay, what will happen, that Chief Justice of India will give order to a Judge of High Court that from now you have to work as a judge of Supreme Court. Okay, for a temporary period. Okay, so what happened, that there was a need. So what happened, so I am again telling, and there is one more condition. The condition is that this Judge of High Court must be qualified to become the Judge of Supreme Court. Okay, means he must be eligible to become the Judge of Supreme Court also. Okay, so I know that many of the students are not getting this, so I am again repeating this with more clarity so that all the students can easily understand it. So what happened, friends, that the quorum of Supreme Court judges, okay, so we have started a story with the help of an example, that the quorum of Supreme Court judges for conducting a session, means for starting the hearing of a case, is not complete. Okay, so what example I gave you? So I gave you an example that what happened, that 9 judges are required. 9 judges are required for the completion of quorum. Okay, means 9 judges are required for so that 9 judges are required for the completion of quorum, so that the hearing of the case can be started. Okay, but what happened that only 8 judges were present. Okay, and there was the need for one more judge, or there was need for one more judge. Okay, and when this one more judge will be available, then the quorum will be completed, and then the hearing of that case can be started. Okay, so now for arranging this one more judge, what Chief Justice of India did? Chief Justice of India first of all took the consent of the President of India. Okay, so first of all, Chief Justice of India took the consent of the President of India that, sir, I want to appoint a judge of High Court as a judge of Supreme Court. Okay, so first of all, the Chief Justice of India will take the consent of the President of India that, sir, I want to appoint a judge of High Court as the ad hoc judge of Supreme Court. Okay, and once the President of India has given its consent, once the President of India has given his consent, after that Chief Justice of India will consult with the Chief Justice of one High Court. Okay, which High Court? Of that High Court from which the judge is to be appointed. Okay, so let's suppose that there is a judge. Okay, and that judge is qualified to become, let's suppose that there is a High Court judge, and that High Court judge is qualified to become a judge of Supreme Court. Okay, now Chief Justice of India wants that this High Court judge should work as the ad hoc judge of Supreme Court. Okay, so now first of all, Chief Justice of India will consult. Okay, means he will talk, he will consult with the Chief Justice of the concerned High Court, means of that High Court in which this judge is working. Okay, and after consulting with the Chief Justice of concerned High Court, then Chief Justice of India will pass the order, and he will give this order in writing. Okay, then Chief Justice of India will give order to this judge of Supreme Court to, Chief Justice of India will give order to this judge of High Court to work as the judge of Supreme Court for a temporary period. Okay, why? Because definitely there is a vacancy in the Supreme Court due to which the quorum is incomplete. So when the vacancy will be filled, then the quorum will be completed. Okay, so this judge is required to work as the judge of Supreme Court for a temporary period till the time the vacancy is not filled. Okay, so now the Chief Justice of India will give the order to this judge of High Court to work as the judge of Supreme Court for a temporary period of time for the completion of quorum. Okay, and there is one condition, and that condition is that this judge of High Court must be qualified to become the judge of Supreme Court. Okay, now friends, this judge of High Court who is appointed by the Chief Justice of India to work as the judge of Supreme Court for a temporary period of time will be called as ad hoc judge. Okay, so this is the meaning of ad hoc judge. Now friends, after this, the next important concept is court of record. Okay, so now what is our question? So first of all, we need to know that what is court of record. Okay, so now let us discuss about the concept of court of record. So first of all friends, the first important concept is that from where we have adopted this concept. Okay, so we know that we have adopted many concepts in our constitution from foreign countries. So first of all, we need to know that we have taken this concept from where. So friends, the answer of this question is that we have adopted this concept, or we have adopted the concept of court of record from England. Okay, so we have taken the concept of court of record from England. Okay, so the concept of court of record has been taken from England. Okay, now let's move forward. Now friends, after this, the next important question is that which courts in India enjoys the status of court of record. Okay, or we can also say this like that which courts in India can be called as court of record. So friends, if you will study the Constitution of India, then according to the Constitution of India, in India, Supreme Court and High Courts are declared as the court of records. Okay, now what does it mean? So it means that in India, Supreme Court is court of record and all the High Courts are also court of record. Okay, so what I am saying that under Indian Constitution, Supreme Court of India and High Courts have been declared as court of record. Okay, so this simply means that the district court and subordinate court are not court of record. Okay, district courts and subordinate court are not court of record. Only Supreme Court and High Courts are declared as the court of record. But friends, now also a very important and a basic question is left. Now that question is that what is this court of record, or we can also say that what is the meaning of a court of record. Okay, and we can ask this question in one more way, that how can we declare or how can we say that a particular court is a court of record or not. Okay, for example, I have told you that the Supreme Court is declared as the court of record. So now you can ask me that, sir, how can you say that Supreme Court is court of record? How can you say that High Courts are court of record? So is there any criteria of declaring any court as court of record? Or which courts can be declared as the court of record? Okay, so now I will try to give you the answer of all these questions. So friends, for a court to be declared as the court of record, this court must satisfy two conditions. Okay, so there are two conditions, and if a court satisfied these two conditions, then that court will be declared as the court of record. Okay, so what I am saying that if there is a particular court and if that court is satisfying the two conditions, then that court will be declared as the court of record. So now we only need to study that which are those two conditions which are required for declaring any court as the court of record. So friends, the first condition is that its record shall be admissible as evidence or reference in all the courts of country. Okay, now what does it mean, or what this first condition mean? So now I will explain you the meaning of this first condition. So friends, let's suppose what happened, that a case came in Supreme Court of India. Okay, so I am giving you example here. So let's suppose that a case came in the Supreme Court of India. Okay, now let's suppose that this case is regarding any evil social practice. For example, let's suppose that this case is regarding child labor. Okay, so let's suppose that this case is regarding child labor. Okay, now what happened, that when this case came in the Supreme Court of India, so definitely first of all the hearings will go on, and once the hearings are completed, then after that what will happen, that the Supreme Court will give its final judgment. Okay, so what happened, that after the hearing is completed, then the Supreme Court of India has given its final judgment. Okay, now friends, once the Supreme Court of India has given its final judgment regarding the child labor, now this judgment of Supreme Court can be treated as reference. Now this judgment of Supreme Court can be treated as reference in all the courts of India. Okay, for example, let's suppose that after this a case came in any high court. Okay, so let's suppose what happened after that, that after some time a case came in high court which was also related to child labor. Okay, now previously Supreme Court of India gave the judgment on a case which was related to child labor, and after some point of time a new case came in any high court, okay, which was also related to child labor. Okay, so now that high court can take the reference of the judgment given by Supreme Court in the previous case. Okay, similarly, let's suppose what happened, that after some point of time a case came in district court. Okay, a case regarding child labor came in any district court. Okay, district court or subordinate court. Okay, so now earlier the case related to child labor was dealt by Supreme Court and High Court, and Supreme Court gave its judgment and High Court also gave its judgment. Okay, so now this district court or this subordinate court can take the reference of the judgment given by High Court or the judgment given by Supreme Court in that case. Okay, so court of record means, so the first condition is that its record, means the court which has to be declared as the court of record. So the first condition that court should meet is that its record shall be admissible as evidence or reference in all the courts of India. Okay, so it means that if Supreme Court of India has given any judgment, then that judgment of India can be treated as reference material. Then that judgment of Supreme Court can be treated as reference in all the courts of India. Okay, so this is the first condition. Now friends, after this, the second condition which a court should meet to be declared as the court of record is that the court must enjoy the power of contempt of court jurisdiction. Okay, so that court must enjoy the power of contempt of court jurisdiction. Okay, now what does it mean, or what is the meaning of contempt of court jurisdiction? So contempt of court basically means that the court has the power to punish an individual. The court has the power to punish someone for its contempt. Okay, for example, let's suppose if there is a person, and if that person has contempted the court, then court has the power to punish that person. Okay, so what is the basic meaning of contempt of court? So contempt of court basically means that the court enjoys the power to punish a person. Court enjoys the power to punish an individual for its contempt. Okay, for example friends, let's suppose what happened, that let's suppose there is a high court. Okay, now let's suppose what happened, that there is a high court. Now the high court has given, let's suppose what happened, there is a high court, and this high court has given an order to a individual. Okay, means this is a person, and let's suppose that the name of this person is Mr. A. Okay, and high court has given some direction or some order to this person Mr. A. Okay, and what happened, that this Mr. A disobeys the order of high court, means this Mr. A denies to obey the order of high court. Okay, so if high court has given any direction, or the high court has given any order to any person, and if that person disobeys the order of high court, then it will also amount to the contempt of court, and in this case high court has the power to punish this person. Okay, friends, this is just an example of contempt of court. In reality, contempt of court is a full topic. Okay, and there are actually two types of contempt of court: criminal contempt and civil contempt. And actually this was the example of civil contempt. Okay, so friends, contempt of court in itself is a complete topic. So now I will teach you the topic of contempt of court in a very detailed manner in the next class. Okay, so in the next class we will cover the topic of contempt of court in a very detailed manner. For the time being, you just understand that contempt of court basically means that court has the power to punish an individual for its contempt. So this is known as contempt of court, and in the next class I will teach you the concept of contempt of court in a very detailed manner. Okay, so now friends, so friends, you have seen both the conditions for any court to be declared as the court of record. Now if we will see the condition of India, okay, so if we have to discuss about the condition of India, then let's see that which courts satisfy both of these conditions in India. So first of all friends, the first condition was that if the court, okay, so first condition was that its record shall be admissible as evidence or reference in all the courts of India. Okay, in all the courts of country. So what happens, that the record of high courts, and the record of Supreme Court, okay, the record of high courts and the record of Supreme Court is actually admissible as the evidence or reference in all the courts of India. Okay, means high courts and Supreme Court satisfy the first condition. Now let's see what is the second condition. So the second condition is that the court must enjoy the contempt of court jurisdiction. Now in India, all the high courts are given the power of contempt of court, and the Supreme Court is also given the power of contempt of court. Okay, means in India, Supreme Court, okay, so here you can see that Supreme Court is satisfying both the conditions, and high courts are also satisfying both the conditions. So now we can say that in India, high courts and Supreme Courts are declared as court of record, or high court and Supreme Court enjoys the status of court of record. So friends, that's all for today. I hope that all of you must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all. Friends, now we will meet in next class with a fresh topic, as and I have already told you that the topic of next class will be contempt of court. Okay, so friends, now we will meet in next class. So till then, stay indoors, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Thank you.